I just got off of Interstate 26 right here in lovely Kingsport, Tennessee, exit 5. So I'm at the rest area right here in lovely Kingsport. Y'all know I come here a lot and get coffee or whatever. And I was walking around, I pulled up in the Chevy truck, and I seen this young man over here with his backpack and his pad that you lay on and all this good stuff. Now I asked him, could I do an interview? And he said yes. So you know me, I always love meeting people. I got a big mouth, biggest mouth of the South. I like to socialize. And I like to start the interview off by saying, sir, what's your name?
My name's Thor, sir.
Thor?
My last name's Getz, G-E-T-Z.
Thor Getz. And where are you from?
I'm originally from Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, man, born and raised.
Okay.
City of Red Rose.
That's nice. And what made you start on this journey? I mean, when did you leave Pennsylvania?
Well, I originally left Pennsylvania at 16 to go to boarding school in upstate New York at a place called the Family Foundation School.
Yeah.
And then I moved to the D.C. area and was in school for music after I failed out of college for a communication major at George Mason University. Didn't even go to class for 6 months. And then, well, I transferred from Montgomery College in Montgomery County, Maryland, living in Rockville.
Yeah.
To the University of the Arts to be a jazz voice performer in Philly, and then left there. And then I did some writing for a few years, did a lot of exploration of myself, kind of like a vagabond, and then made some changes, went back to DC, then went to Northern Virginia Community College, tried to do astronomy, not very good at calculus here, and then I became a microbiologist, transferred to Virginia Tech, got my undergraduate in microbiology, then worked at CDC in the Clostridium botulinum, or at the time I was the National Botulinum and Enteric Toxins team. Now it's just the National Botulism Laboratory. And then after there I got accepted to go to USC to write a dissertation. A little bit under 2 years into my marine biology PhD program, I had this feeling like something was wrong, and I just needed to start writing my own science, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
And I just decided to master out, and I wrote a paper. It was my second paper. I have 2 published papers online. One about parallel evolution involving marine microbia. They're really cool marine bugs. And then my master's dissertation was on a gene 169, the members of SAR11, also really cool. You should look them up. You can find me a Google Scholar under Eric. It was my birth name, but my actual name is a different name, so it's a good day. But
well,
now I'm writing, man.
You know you're what?
Now I'm just writing.
You're just writing?
Yeah.
What brings us to this location today? So we ended up, when did we decide we're going to walk south? Is it? When did this journey start that got you here today?
Well, I guess technically it started at the Smithsonian. I thought there was some stuff I wanted to find there, and I found this bird next to some meteors, and I think the Natural History Museum, and one of those, it's called Accipitor cooperi. I think they're just an American hawk. They're kind of brown and white.
Yeah.
And I just got this feeling like I was supposed to go to New Orleans before I try and head back west to LA to try and talk to some people that I kind of missed there, and then figure out where to go from there, man.
So, how did you end up on exit 5 right here in Kingsport, Tennessee?
Kids.
You're fine.
Okay.
At the rest area. How did you end up here today? Were you hitchhiking? You said last night was it yesterday you were in Wise, Virginia?
I was in Wise, and I got into a wrestling match at El Dorado with a buddy of mine. Actually, the wrestling match sort of started after that. And I spent the night in jail in the drunk tank, and then walking down the street today, a new friend of mine, his name's Larry, picked me up and then drove me. And
Larry drove you here?
He drove me to Kingsport near the Burger King. I just walked up here.
He dropped you off at Burger King?
Yeah, man.
And my name's Owens. I introduced myself to him. I told him my name's Owens. They call me Big O, and I have a YouTube channel, so it's nice meeting them. So I'm always finding it interesting when people are hitchhiking. When I walked up, I said, "Are you hiking the Appalachian Trail?" He said no, but I have before, because I did see his backpack, his little rolled up mat, and so I figured it'd make an interesting vlog. And what's the plans today, my friend?
So right now, man, I just wanted to stop and read some of my notes to make sure, because sometimes when I write like this, you know, where I have books that I find for free in libraries, because I don't have a phone right now. Yeah. So I start writing like this to try and put them here where they belong. All the books. But I just thought when I found this one for free, I was like, you know what? It's almost my colors. My colors are blue and gold. I like lapis lazuli. I just call it lazuli because the whole lapis thing. I don't like the.
And you go by Thor?
That's my name, brother.
Thor? And Thor, where did you sleep last night?
In jail.
In jail?
Yeah.
So what jail was that? In Wise, Virginia?
It was somewhere outside of Wise, Virginia. I can't even remember what the town was called.
Wasn't Norton or Appalachia or Big Stone or?
Maybe Norton. I can't even remember.
Maybe Norton.
They took me there, and then I got released this morning and started walking down the street.
So what happened? We had a few too many beers, or?
Not at all, man. Someone, I think, called the cops, said I was drunk in public. I was fine. I had 3 tall boys, like 24-ounce beers,
yeah.
and Black Russian with a friend. Went outside, smoked a cigarette, and 5 or 6 cops showed up.
Where you at a bar?
Yeah, at a place called El Dorado.
At El Dorado's?
I was
and
fine.
Was that in Wise?
So, yeah, it was in Wise.
It was in Wise?
I didn't need to go to prison. I wasn't that
Oh,
drunk.
no. If you had a little bit too much to drink, you know. Were you there with
That's
your...
not a knot for me.
Were
That's
you
what
there
I'm
with
saying.
your friend that brought you to Burger King in Kingsport?
I was there with another buddy, man.
You was?
Yeah.
So and what time did you get to the El Dorado's last night? I mean, what was the plan? Just to go in there, have a few beers and relax?
I just wanted to have a few victory beers.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, my friend. So we ended up in jail last night, and so one of his buddies, one of your buddies you mentioned earlier, he dropped you off at right here in Kingsport at Burger King. So I'm assuming up there where I live on South John B. Dennis Highway, Highway 93 is where they probably dropped him off at. So this is where we are at. We are at exit 5, the Kingsport rest area, the rest stop, and ended up meeting this guy Thor, and so he's from Pennsylvania, and he told me he's heading down to New Orleans, if I'm correct.
Yeah, man, when the Saints come marching in, right?
Yep. And what's the plans when we get to New Orleans? What's going on what's going on there, my friend? What we gonna do when we get to New Orleans? Tell us about it.
I'm bringing the voodoo home.
You bringing the voodoo home?
Yeah, man.
And what do you mean by that, Thor?
Well, there's a lot of different types of magic that we talk about here.
Yeah.
And I'm a few different things. I'm baptized Lutheran, baptized a few other things, Santerian.
The sun's coming towards me. That's why I did this.
Things. So that's cool.
And so you practice voodoo and stuff?
I practice pretty much any magic someone will throw at me, just so I can figure out how to put it back into this book, along with the Quran and the Torah and any other.
And I know a little about New Orleans. I read books on it and stuff. I love geography. I love keeping up with this town and that town. And I know there's a lot of voodoo and little stuff that goes on down there in New Orleans. I mean, in New Orleans, they got that Mardi Gras, and during that Mardi Gras, boy, that's really I've never been to Mardi Gras in New Orleans, and the Mardi Gras started in Mobile, Alabama. Did you know that?
Mardi Gras started in Alabama.
It started in Mobile, Alabama.
I'm going that way. I was on Route 11. Somehow, someone picked me up, took me to some weird town called Clintwood.
Yeah.
And
that's in Virginia.
It's in Virginia. I went to Virginia Tech, so it was close. I just never been down that area, and. Well, I was on Route 11 because it's a cool number to me.
Yeah.
To me, it just means we are the same. There's other cool numbers too, but I guess I was trying to get back to that one. But if I just keep going south, eventually I'll be in New Orleans.
So when you're walking on I say we have your mat here and your backpack and your little blanket and stuff.
Yeah, man.
Since you have been walking along the roadway in the United States,
yeah.
Tell us about where do you sleep at night? I mean, how do you? I'm not much of a road person. I do hike and camp, but do you just if you're walking, get tired, do you just hold it up in the woods?
If I can find a nice place next
in the
to
woods,
water, I sit there.
A little spring or creek.
Smoke a little bit of cannabis because cannabis is amazing. It's literally medicine. It's put here for a reason. And if I have any on me, I sit there, I smoke a little bit and write. If I'm in a town, I try to be respectful of other people because I gave away all my stuff to understand what it's like to be like this as opposed to be someone who has 2 degrees and should have got a PhD here as opposed to other places and all. But wherever it feels like I'm not bothering anybody, but I can still.
So you like to smoke your little cannabis? You stop on the roadway and if you like me, I like to hike and camp. I love to be right beside a little nice spring, crystal clear spring.
Oh yeah, man.
You can hear the noise, crickets in the katydid in the woods. You hear your birds.
My birthday is March 27th, 1990, man.
Your birthday? You was born March what now?
27th.
27th, 1990.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so that makes you're 33 years old then.
Yeah, brother.
I was born October 16th, 1968.
Say that again.
October the 16th, 1968.
That's a good day and a good year, man. 68.
So today's 14th, so 2 days from now I'll be 55. I'm old as dirt, Thor.
Holy crap, man.
I quit drinking 2 months ago. I ain't nothing wrong with having beer, but I used to love to drink beer. I was feeling bad, and I got 2 blood clotting disorders, high blood pressure, diabetic. I said, you know, Thor, I'm not getting no younger, brother. So I just gave it up. Not counting that I've got a 31-year-old son in Atlanta, 27-year-old daughter, and now, Thor, I've got a 6-year-old daughter here. When I moved up here, I met a girl. When I moved to Kingsport, she was almost 40. I was almost 50. Told her she couldn't have children. 10 months later, she was pregnant, and that's where I'm at in my life. But I love to get out, hike, and camp. I love meeting people. I love to socialize with people. You know, that's what's most interesting is people. People, places.
That's Owen. I just want to make sure I remember your name.
Yep.
Brother.
My real name, first name's Owens, O-W-E-N-S, but I tell most people just call me Owen because they can never get it right. But it's easy to remember my last name because it's like a pickle, Dill, D-I-L-L.
Yeah.
So you have met Mr. Pickle, a.k.a. they call me the Big O, on YouTube. I go by Big O Reviews and Blogs with a Z, but you just type in Big O Kingsport, you'll pull me up. You'll see me with this hat on, the biggest mouth in the South.
Hey, what do you think of? You can look in here if you want, man.
I'm just showing up.
What do you think of?
This is your 15 minutes of fame. So tell us anything you want to say, brother.
I don't like that people thought Love and Thunder was a bad movie. I've watched that so many times. Watched it on the holiest of all medicines, the Golden Teachers inside in Quebec. Since my son Adam, he's doing good stuff. But people said that movie was bad, and I thought to myself, what are you talking about?
What movie is it?
Thor: Love and Thunder.
What's it called?
Oh, Thor: Love and Thunder.
Okay.
It's a great movie.
When you're walking and you find yourself along the roadway, such as you have now, how do you eat? How do we eat? Did we walk in? Did we go to Salvation Army? Did we go? Do we have any little money? We go in grocery stores, or
I go to the free libraries that are all around. Free books at actual libraries, or the small ones. If there's stuff in front of churches, I go to the churches and get canned foods. And then if I don't have that, I shoot out the trash. I was in Philly over the summer. And I had nothing, and I left my apartment, left everything, and just to make a statement, to pick up some concepts I left there a while ago, and started eating out of the trash. So they just eat out of the trash. but if someone provides a donation or a gift of currency or food, I'm all for that. I'm not in a position right now where I really trust.
So we're basically homeless on the road. Enjoying the life, enjoying the moment. Hey, we're not getting no younger.
Yeah.
I tell people on my YouTube channel, hey, be happy, positive, focused. Stay away from negative people and try to do the right thing.
Thank you, sir.
And we can't get these 24 hours back. So, hey, no matter if we're homeless on the side of the road, we're hiking, we're camping in the woods, hey, you got to make the best of the moment. It doesn't matter where you are. You're still a human being. And I think the purpose of us being here on earth is to enjoy each moment, to enjoy life. Yeah. Some people work there's a little company right there where I live next to my apartments. Them people have been working sun up to sundown 6 days a week. From there, when I left a while ago, they were still working. And I think we have to stop and take advantage and enjoy the moments, create good memories. Yeah. Be positive. Stay away from negative people, We have
to, man. Unless you want to talk to them too, because they deserve to be talked to too. Man.
Yep. I'm not a materialistic person, never have been. I think people is the most important thing in life. Enjoying the moment, try to make good friends, stay away from negative people. I think happiness should be everybody's key. And do we plan on staying in Kingsport tonight, or are we gonna hitch it on the road, or what we gonna do, Thor?
I have no idea.
Taking it by the moment, brother.
After I met that guy today, I just thought I had to stop here.
Where did you met who?
His name's Larry.
Larry?
Yeah, good people, man.
And where did you meet about in Wise? When you got out of jail in Wise this morning?
No, it wasn't in Wise. It was close to Wise, but I just started walking down 23. I think it was 23.
Okay, it wasn't Coburn, Virginia, was it? Coburn, was it?
It could have been Coburn. There was a few hills, and then just a really nice person. Actually, this is the third or fourth day in a row someone stopped on the side of the road and just said, "Hey, get in my car."
Yeah.
And
So I appreciate you letting me take the time to interview you. Here's his Bible. Here's his belongings. This is what my friend Thor is traveling with. And he said that he eats where he can eat.
Yeah, bro.
Libraries, he meets people, you know, people offering food, I'm sure. He says if he gets too hungry, he can't find no food, he will eat out of the trash can. Survival of the fittest, brother. Gotta do what you gotta do sometimes in life.
You need to be fully self-supporting. Sometimes you just need to have some help from friends, you know. But I'm gonna make money the way I want, you know, which is doing what I was here to do.
Well, I'm getting ready, I guess, to close this interview out. But before I close the interview out, Thor, if you had 3 wishes, my friend, what would it be? Take your time in about 3 minutes. Tell me, if you had 3 wishes, what would it be?
Love, knowledge, and prosperity to every person, anywhere where you live in the multiverse, which I call the abogum, and I like to think of it as a bubblegum machine.
Yeah.
And if you think of what a universe looks like and you put it into a circle or a sphere, and you sort of rotate around the bubblegum machine, we're in universe 147. Took a really long time to figure that out.
Yeah.
And we sort of float around. I consider Midgard because, you know, Ragnarok happened, but it's fine. You know, as it's literally written in scripture, Asgard is not a place, it's a people. And well, I just consider Midgard the cavalry, and you know, who's the mightiest avenger? I don't fucking care. But
hold on 1 second. And so you heard his 3 wishes. If you know, if he had 3 wishes, what would it be? You heard what he had to say. And Thor, my friend, when I get off here, do you drink coffee?
I love coffee. Can I show you something really quick?
Well, I was gonna buy you a cup of coffee, my friend. If it's okay with you.
Can I show you something? My
Maybe
uncle,
buy him something to eat, huh?
My uncle was a Marine pilot, and in 1975, after really the shit got weird in Vietnam and stopped,
yeah,
he was on a rescue mission in South China Sea and he got shot down. And in 1999, they brought his body home, and a bunch of pagans and a bunch of Marines on motorcycles rode with my family, bringing him home. And well, I'm on this mission. I call it Grapes of Wrath, but at this point...
Like John Steinbeck's book?
Well, I don't know much about John Steinbeck, but I know...
He wrote a book called The Grapes of Wrath.
I've heard...
They turned it into a movie.
Oh, it's a movie as well?
Well, yep.
I just like the idea of bringing justice to the people who like rape, because I've been raped 3 times here as a kid. And I just always decided to turn the other cheek and choose love instead. I've done some fucked up shit, but I've worked the 12 steps a lot.
Yeah, you're not perfect like me, you know.
Oh man, no one's perfect.
We try to get wiser, live and learn from our mistakes, and try not to repeat them.
Murphy's Law, whatever can happen will happen, and you know, this is a message from my family that I'm a Getz, but I come from Weidman's, Baumburgers, and well, his name was Lynn Blessing, and you know, this is his seal.
Whose seal is that?
Oh, my uncle Lynn.
Your uncle Lynn's, that's a seal?
Just Murphy's Laws of Combat. And my family I don't know. We care about you a lot, and I love you. I was a poolie in the Marines, and twice I dropped out because I wanted to go to school for music, and then I wanted to go to school for science to be an astrobiologist. Somehow I turned into a marine biologist, just sort of riding the wave. And you know, you do what you need to do to get to where you want to get. But
okay, so we heard Thor tell his side of the story. Everybody's got a story to tell. We all walk different paths in life, and we just try to make the most of it. Like Thor said, there's only so much you can do, then Murphy's Law takes over. But we can have some element of control in our lives. That's why I try to people to be happy, positive, and focused. Try to better yourself. Try to stay away from negative people. Try to do the right thing. I place my faith in God, not the government. And as I live, I try to get wiser, not make the same mistakes. And before we close this out, me and you go get some coffee and maybe buy you something to snack out of the machine. Any information that you'd like to give my YouTube followers, my YouTube subscribers, my friends on YouTube?
Yeah, man, I went all the way back and all the way forward 3 times, and then, well, I guess lived 33 years with a weird idea of trying to reassociate everything that I disassociated from those journeys through 3 iterations of the universe. We're in the 4th. May the 4th be with you. And I'm here to try and to fix our limited resources. So we use money as a sign of spiritual development or a product of our time, which it kind of is. But to me, God means family, and that whole thing with the Star Project or Pegasus.
Yeah.
If I had to say who I am in your Marvel movies, I'm Captain Marvel, and my Ford Focus, her name was Lazuli, but she was technically Pegasus, and it took a really long time to figure that one out. Didn't have much money, but she's everywhere now, and I'm trying to.
Well, who is she?
Oh, she was Pegasus.
Pegasus.
Yeah, so like in the movie
Yeah.
Captain Marvel, where she sucks that thing, and there's this thing that happened in DARPA a while ago. It's called the Star Project. I think it got shut down because it was hard. They were trying to build a star
Yeah.
and produce solar power, I guess is what you would call it, or just clean fusion energy. And I'd like to turn that motherfucker on.
Yeah.
So we can stop this shit once and for all.
Well, I'm going to close the interview out. Thanks for letting me interview you. We'll get off here and we'll get us a cup of coffee. Say bye to my YouTube friends.
Travel well. I don't say goodbye.
And he said travel well. He don't like to say goodbye. I can understand that. So I'm going to get off here, my friends. Thanks for allowing me to interview Thor right here on my YouTube channel. You know, I like to meet people. Everybody's got a story to tell. We all in this world together in some sort of way. We each create and walk our own journey. I'm going to close it out. Be happy, positive, focus. Stay away from negative people. Try to do the right thing. And I will see you all on down the road.
Thank you, Owen.